there are two important days of your life. One, the day you were born, which is your birthday. And two, the day you find out why.
Welcome viewers to my next episode on KVIIT TV. Those who are seeing KVIIT TV for the past few weeks, you must be aware that Kendriya Vidyalaya Alumni Association of IIT Chennai, which is celebrating its 40th year, has organized a series of podcast interviews, and the participants are the alumni of Kendriya Vidyalaya IIT Chennai who are passed out from the year 1967. Today's episode will be the 11th episode. So we must appreciate Mr. K. Balasubramaniam, the president of Kendriya Vidyalaya IIT Alumni Association Chennai, and also the executive committee members who have drawn out this wonderful program of podcast interviews. Each podcast interview, who are all alumni of the Kendriya Vidyalaya IIT, have a rich profile, rich background, and they have shared a lot of their academics, professional experience, and life after retirement, a few of them. Those who watch KVIIT TV, especially the podcast interview of Kendriya Vidyalaya IIT Alumni Association Chennai, please share with others so that everybody will be benefited. Today's episode will be the 11th episode. So on behalf of the Alumni Association of Kendriya Vidyalaya IIT Chennai, on behalf of KVIIT TV, I warmly welcome Professor CB Mohan from Bengaluru. Welcome, Professor CB Mohan, fondly called CB.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Krishnan. It's a privilege to be in your TV channel. Thank you.
Sir, before moving on to the first question, I wish to read your profile. Viewers can know your profile.
Sure, go ahead.
In fact, a lot to convey, but briefly. Professor CB Mohan, fondly called CB. He is an alumnus of 1974 batch from KVIIT Chennai. He is a professor, coach, mentor, teaches at multiple B schools, empaneled with corporates as leadership coach, business mentor for startup companies, academic and professional background. After schooling, completed mechanical engineering at IIT, that is Banaras Hindu University, worked with global corporates, reached India, yet role in an American Automotive MNC, and then moved to an APAC head office in the same MNC. Performed global leadership role as APAC Head based at Beijing, China. More interestingly, his other activities. As a classical vocalist, he has performed in various concerts and he uses music in his classrooms to keep the students cohort engaged. And the other specialty of him is he has the ability to speak in multiple languages. So we are going to have an interesting session with CB. And that is where he is being called. So I take the opportunity, privilege of calling us CB. So welcome, Professor CB Mohan. So
thank you.
We are in the midst of celebrating the podcast interview of Alumni Association 40th year. Now, the first question, what did you do right after school, which you left in 1974?
Okay, all youngsters from school, they aspire to get into one of the top engineering schools. So I also did a math, physics, chemistry major in high school. So I went to IIT-BHU. So that was a dream come true for me. I did mechanical engineering for 5 years. And then the best thing that happened to me was that because at the tender age of 16, I went out of home and learned to live all by myself. Everything was managing small finances, right from washing my laundry. I mean, my mother used to do everything all these days. Now I had to do everything by myself. So I learned what it is to be all by myself, apart from engineering. I think, and that's where I developed my classical music skills as well. So that was amazing 5 years that I had at BHU before I turned to corporate life. So that was my what I did immediately after my schooling.
Tell us more about your experiences in the industry.
Okay. I started my career in corporates, worked in MNCs most of my life as a mechanical engineer, and I've been associated with the automotive industry. So as I learned working through various industries, and the idea, I mean, I was lucky to work in multiple functions. I started my career in product engineering, went to purchasing, then sales. I worked on system-related projects in project management and program management. Before I got to a India head role in an automotive MNC. I mean, so this was like introducing a new product in a greenfield market. So I had the responsibility of introducing a new automotive product in a greenfield market. So that was very, very interesting because it reminds me of the BHU story. Two BHU salesmen were sent to Africa and said, "Hey, tell me how big the market is." So the first BHU sales guy said, "Hey, nobody wears shoes here. There's no market." The second guy said, "Nobody wears shoes here. There's a huge market." So it all depends upon the lens that you wear and how you look at the marketplace. And that's what I was taught to do because nobody uses our product and we have to create a greenfield market. And I always remember the shoe company salesman story. And that kind of inspired me to grow the market in India. I mean, today we are a big setup in India, and that was possible because of me and my team's attitude towards creating that greenfield marketplace. That was an excellent experience that I had. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. That is a beautiful quote of BHU example.
Yeah.
So it is wide open for you to do the marketing. Okay.
Yep.
Sir, moving on to the next one. How did you get into the academics later in your career?
Sure. Before that, I had an opportunity to work in China. So if you don't mind, I would like to spend some time explaining that as well.
Okay.
So after I did the India head role, then my CEO turned to me and said, "Hey, CB, you've hit the top here. What next?" I said, "Yeah, okay. Is there an opportunity to work at a global level?" That's what I asked them. I said, "Hey, you know what? There is an Asia Pacific. It's called APAC. So an Asia Pacific head role, but you have to be based at Beijing in China because China is the biggest market, and that's the Asia Pacific headquarters." I said, "Okay, I'll do that." So I had China, Japan, Korea, India, Australia, all the Asian country heads report to me, and I reported to the global head in the US. And that was a very challenging thing. The first day I landed in China, all the Chinese employees and the China head, they looked up to me and said, "Hey, why should I report to an Indian man?" That was a big challenge. And from there, getting accepted. So first thing I did was understood some of their pain points. What is it they have not been able to achieve as an organization, personally, especially, There was one girl who was a brilliant engineer, and she was not getting the right kind of growth. Then I kind of, worked with the global HR because I had good connections with US. So I got a lot of things done which they could not get done. And that is how I gained acceptance. The first thing I made it clear was that I'm not their boss. So I acted more like a coach and mentor. I was kind of guiding them. So much so that even today, many years after I've left the organization, there are a lot of people in touch with me. One of my team members messaged me last month saying that, "Hey, CB, I bought a new car. This is a picture of my new car. I'm driving it." And I said, "Wow, okay, great. Good luck, man." His name is Ming Chiao. So I have a lot of people in China, Japan, and Korea. One incident which I would like to narrate was, we do what is known as a global drive your vehicle program. Okay. In that, we had limited number of seats, and we had new employees join our organization, they said, hey, CB, either you go or your employees go. I said, look, I've been to these events many times. Let my new employee go. I'll take a step back. I won't go. You know? And that had a huge impact on my employees. They said, hey, here's a leader who's willing to sacrifice, take a step back, and then, allow us to go. But actually, I had a very selfish interest there because I was able to build that loyalty amongst the employees, which was very, very important for a leader. Because without employee loyalty and employee support, you're not going to be successful as a leader. Because their success is my success, So a lot of lessons that I learned, I mean, I use them even today in my B schools.
Sir, you briefly mentioned your rich experience in China. The noticeable points is C here, CB Mohan, here C stands for coach. And B, I think B stands for your broad outlook. Of course, you say you have the hidden interest, but it is for a team interest, for the organizational interest. So you proved yourself as a coach and a mentor. Now, moving on to the third question, how did you get into academics later in your career?
Sure. It's actually a very emotional thing, which I would like to share with you. A Chinese friend of mine one day walked up to me and said, he's a professor at the Fudan University. So he walked up to me. We used to do a lot of projects with them, university industry collaboration. So he came and said, hey, CB, which is the storehouse of knowledge in the world? Where is knowledge being stored in the world? I said, hey, maybe it's some top engineering school or B school or research institution or maybe NASA. He said, no, it's the graveyard. I said, it's a graveyard? Why would you say that? He said, it's because people with a lot of knowledge do not share that. And unfortunately, that's where it lies. That had a very big impact on me. I said, hey, I have little knowledge, but I think it should not just die with me. It should be shared with the rest of the people. And that's where I moved to academics. And that moment, I think it triggered, I must say that, hey, okay, enough is enough. I kind of announced voluntary retirement in my job and said, okay, you know what, guys, I'm done. So I'm moving to academics. I'm going to be teaching at B schools. And since Fudan and IIM Shillong and other places, I already had an ongoing interaction. I was easily able to walk in as a visiting prof. Even today, I teach at these places. So that was my start of my academic career.
Okay, and you are very active, I think, isn't it? Still in that?
Yes. So I teach even today. I teach strategic management and international business. We people are known as professors of practice. I'm not a pure academician, but I bring to the table a lot of knowledge which I have acquired during my work experience. So when I teach cross-cultural team management, my students who are Gen Z kids will turn around and ask me, hey, professor, what did you do in China in this particular context? Or how would a Japanese react in this context? What did you do in Australia? Things like that. So I'm able to tell them a real life story, which is more convincing for them because they know that I've done it as an Asia Pacific team leader. So that helps.
Professional becoming a professor has got a rich experience to share, which I think the acceptance will be more by the students, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Sir, I saw your profile. Another something unique of CB Mohan. You are a musician.
Okay.
Classical musician.
Yeah.
And you use this music to your classrooms. How do you explain this?
Yeah, I mean, like I do a lot of motivational songs. In fact, I have a YouTube channel like you, so I use a lot of motivational songs. I'm a diehard fan of Kishore Kumar, apart from being a classical musician. So usually on the last day of the session, so I always sing, साथ न कारवां है ये तेरा इम्तिहान है यूं ही चला चल दिल के सहारे करती है मंजिल तुझको इशारे देखो न कोई रोक नहीं ले तुझको पुकार के, वो राही रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के. So don't lose, move forward, march. The world is in front of you. This is what I would like to leave a message with all my students. So I use this song.
I don't know whether I want to put the next question. I think I'll ask you to sing one more song, I think. You sing very nicely.
So basically, it says that there is nobody supporting you. You're all by yourself, okay? But don't stop. Let someone not call you and say, hey, wait, don't go too far. No. You have a path to go. There are going to be thorns on the way, but once you cross that, it's going to be flowers all the way. So don't lose hope, be focused, move forward. That's what it means.
CB sir, you sang very nicely. Now, moving on to the question number 5. What is your message to the younger generation, rather school, college going students, and those who passed out also?
Sure. After having been an engineering school student, a B school student, then worked in multiple corporates, did a global head role. Now I'm a professor. I would like to quote Mark Twain, Mr. Krishnan. Mark Twain said, there are 2 important days of your life, the day you are born and the day you find out why. Well, dear Krish TV viewers, there's one message that I wish to leave with all of you. Let me quote Mark Twain here. Okay, Mark Twain said, there are 2 important days of your life. 1, the day you were born, which is your birthday. And 2, the day you find out why. What is the purpose of your life? This is a question you want to ask yourself. Okay. If you ask me, every time when someone comes to me and says, hey, professor, you made a change in my life, I think I'm one step towards the goal or purpose of my life. And this is an ongoing journey. It's a never-ending journey. I hope all of you find that soul-searching moment. So the question to all of your viewers would be, hey, viewers, have you found your second day yet?
That was an interesting session with the Professor CB Mohan, fondly called CB. He has shared his rich experience, academics, as well as experience professional life in China and other universities, and also how he has made music as a tool to motivate his fellow employees. And 2 beautiful lines which I heard is, one is he said, if you want to be a team leader and you want to improve the organization, the leader has to take a step back, make his juniors or whoever is his team members to step up and expose them so that they too will enjoy how the leadership works. They will have the feel of leadership. So that was a fine message, Professor CB Mohan. And also he left with a final question to the viewers. I think whoever has got an answer, maybe you give a Gmail ID, whether what purpose they are born. If they really felt the second day, I wish them to communicate to your Gmail ID. It was an interesting session and thought-provoking session, I should say that. Thank you on behalf of KVIIT TV. And also, definitely, I should thank the Alumni Association of Kendriya Vidyalaya IIT Chennai and its president, K. Balasubramaniam. Thank you, sir. Thank you, CB.
Thank you, Krish TV, for giving me this opportunity to speak to your viewers. Thank you.